Your immersive experience has been hijacked. It is highly recommended that you disconnect.
Good evening and welcome to the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. I'm your guide, Desi Lou, and tonight we talk the fallout, exploring the depths of disconnection. So, have you ever wondered why genuine connections seem so rare in today's world? Why do our relationships feel more transactional than heartfelt? Well, that's what we're diving into today. We dive deep into the complexities of modern relationships and we explore why they seem to be drifting apart rather than coming together. So that's what it feels like. Everybody is just, we not connecting, y'all. We don't care about each other no more. I hate to say it like that, but if you are watching the playback, I hope you enjoyed tonight's conversation. And I cannot wait to talk to you all tonight about um, the disconnection that we are feeling in today's world. And you would think that it would be easier to connect to people with all of the modern day technology that we have, but for some odd reason, it seems like we're just drifting further and further apart. So, hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Oh, look, that's cute. I should have done this a long time ago. I didn't know that these things could pop up in different ways, but I like that. I like that. Great profile picture, by the way. Love the butterfly wings. You feel me? so, um, I want to talk about these relationships. Like a lot of people, we know that we can talk about these relationships in the realm of just romantic, but I also want to keep in focus that if it applies one way, that it applies always. So if you are, to me, if you're having a disconnect in relationships in one area in your life, you're probably having that disconnect in every area in your life, whether it be romantic or professional or just a friendship, whatever it is, if you want to call it platonic or whatever the case is that it may be. So, all right. So we are, I also want to dive into the impacts of societal preferences as well, because I feel like, with the digital age and everything, I feel like social media plays a very heavy part in some of the disconnects that we feel today, especially without having those face to face interactions. I think we could just think that we could do, say whatever we want to say, move however we want to move. But in truth, is like if your character applies one way, you always want to apply that character in the same way. You feel me? So I do have a few questions today, and hopefully we could get some answers. So I'm gonna give y'all my answers, but I also would like for you all to interact in the comments as well. I do read comments and I talk back when I am live. Sometimes these are playbacks, so you just got to make sure that you're talking to me and you're not talking to a playback of me, okay? So I want to talk about hidden agendas. So I feel like a lot of times that relationships can feel superficial because we have hidden agendas. There's something that we are trying to get out of somebody. And that is why we have that. Hey, Tiffany, how you feeling? How you feel? Check in with me, girl. It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. It's a top-notch model right there. I don't know if y'all know, but Tiffany, a model, y'all. Check her out. Check her out. Juicy Jane is where you can find her at. So I feel like a lot of these relationships that we get into, they are not genuine simply because of the hidden agendas that we have. I think that in this day and age, we found a way to go about getting exactly what we want. And it's a subtle way of manipulating people into doing what we need them to do. I feel like relationships are very transactional these days. You even think about in the workplace, or I'll bring up politics. We'll think about Kamala and is that how you say her name? Kamala? I don't know how to say her name, but however, the lady that's running for president, right? We'll talk about her, and you know how they started trumping up her past, basically stating that, oh, she used to be a hoe or whatever the case may be. Allegedly, let me put that on there. But allegedly, she used to be a hoe, and people, well, she slept her way to the top or something like that. I wouldn't call her just a hoe to call her a hoe, but they stated that she slept her way to the top. And I feel like those are like kind of hidden agendas that we have, how you could work for something. And I feel like that's why there's a big disconnect as well in the work environment, because you can be the one that's putting in all the work. You could be the one that's Hey, Riz, how you feeling? How you feel? You could be the one that's putting in all the work and you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, you getting it out the mud. You feel me? Like you working your ass off. You put it, and then somebody come along and they could just sleep with the boss, and they got the job that you wanted. But that's just something totally different. Oh, good evening, Enrique. How are you feeling? How do you feel? I cannot hear you. Okay, all right, you're well and you are just parking. I don't know if you wanted to be on stage or not, but if you do, you'll hit me in the private chat and you will let me know. So I also feel like there's just so many different agendas that we are playing out and so many things that we are playing into this field of who we're engaging in and the things that we want from them. I feel like we look at people and we think about what they can give us, and that's just it. That's simply that. I think friendships that you find are a lot more genuine because friendships have the ability to be way more open. I'm able to be honest with my homegirls. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to tell my girls what's going on, why I feel a certain type of way, why I'm feeling any type of way. But then, you get into a relationship where you need something or you need higher pay. And that's where those agendas come in. And I think that's why we have to be cognizant of our basically of our subconscious, what's going on in the back of our heads at all times. And I don't think we do that. I don't think we have enough awareness of us to understand when we are manipulating somebody or when we are trying to get over on somebody. Um, Thank you. And I'm simply a reflection of you, Riss. So, as always, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you can see it in me, that's because it exists in you. So, and that's that. It's just simply a thing of, hold on, maybe Enrique is ready.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello,
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about my lateness.
Oh, you're perfectly fine. Better late than never. So I'm always here for different perspectives. They probably get tired of me talking anyways. They listen to me all the time. So I always like new perspectives, and I will ask you to introduce yourself. And if you would like to give them any of your handles, if they can follow you or anything of that nature.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My handle on Instagram is sirloin2k. You could find me on there. Don't really use anything else.
All right, perfect. Did you want to give them a name? If we're going with Enrique, because we can all say that.
Yes, Enrique is my name. Um, just call me by that, or just call me D, whichever one you prefer.
All right. Oh, yeah, exactly on the handle there. Good evening, China. How you feeling? How you feel?
I am well. I am well. How are you?
Amazing, a lot better. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you get your one twos and
Okay, how y'all doing? I'm back in the building again. It's been a minute since I've been on here, but I'm glad to be in the presence of the immersive experience once again. It's your girl China V. You can follow me on Valet8587 on IG or Facebook China Victoria. Check out some good stuff I got on there, y'all. Don't forget to hit me up. Period.
so tonight, I've been talking about it for at least 8 minutes now. No, but tonight we're talking about the fallout, and basically that's the we're talking about disconnect. Why are we so disconnected these days? Why people are not making genuine connections? What is it? And I'm talking about it in all aspects. I just don't want to harp on relationships because I know that's easy because I feel like that's a place where we all have a lot of issues. So I will hop in to my first question, and I want to ask you guys, like, why do you think relationships feel more conditional now than ever? China, would you like to answer that?
You said why relations feel more conditioned?
Why do relationships feel more conditional now than ever?
I feel like because of the way that the times are, like tradition is not the same. You have the way of the modern way of things of life now. Certain things have changed, so a lot of stuff ain't unconditional. It's just more conditioned because it feels like it may work better that way instead of going into that more traditional route.
Mhm. Okay, so you feel like people probably like afraid that their time gonna get wasted. So it's easier for a relationship to be transactional than it is to just
Correct.
go in.
Yeah.
Enrique, why do you feel why do relationships feel more conditional now than ever?
I think it's more conditional now because we've seen when it was unconditional with either your parents or relatives or loved ones. You can see people be dogged on for like 30 years, but they want to harp on, oh, we've been together this long. Yeah, okay. 30 years of what? Unhappiness? Happy? How many years have y'all been happy?
Mhm.
Everything changes now. So like modern media, you get to see how the other half lives. If the grass is greener on the other side, we have simplified dating, meeting people, a echo chamber. So now we have conditions because we can easily swipe right or swipe left. It's not as hard to meet a person that can meet all of your needs all in one now. So we have conditions because we don't want to waste time.
Mm. Have you ever had a relationship where you felt that the person was only interested in you for what you could do for them or how you could provide for them?
Um, yes, with my ex, yes. Um, you can see based on like when you create a foundation, right? Like your relationship, you want to relay everything to that foundation, right? Once people start acting different from the foundation that you both built, you can kind of read between the lines like, okay, it's conditional now, whereas before it was unconditional. What changed?
Mhm.
You know? And once you know your partner like the back of your hand, it's easy to see what they are in it for.
Hmm. Do you think that and this is just a general question, either one of you guys can answer it. Do you think that we give people the opportunity to use us in that manner? That we are
Yeah.
the people okay.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. I agree with that. I do believe that we are the people who we teach the world how to treat us. So if and I think a lot of times because I have been in my life so kind-hearted, so big-hearted, it's easy for me to overplay my part and then feel used also. But I know that I'm supposed to be used, but I want to be used where there's a reciprocity, if that makes sense, where somebody is pouring back into me the same way that I pour into them.
Can I
So,
chime in on that though?
absolutely.
When it comes to doing things like that, it's kind of like when people apologize and they expect an apology back, right? Like you're not doing it to do things that you want to do. You do it because you want them to do that exact thing back. And a lot of times people don't output the same energy into you that you output into them.
I
So
agree.
when you have that kind of mindset, it will mess you up in a number of ways.
I agree with that. I think for me, the reciprocity is not necessarily how I have to have it. It doesn't have to come in like, I feel like if you're the type of person who's like, oh, that's not something that I really like, but to show me that you're still interested in me in your own way, or you still pour into me in your own way, I feel like that's good enough, but it still has to be in a way that I can recognize it. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Okay. All right. I feel like I be rambling. So I be feeling like my thoughts be getting lost a lot of the time, but that's just me. So China, I want to ask, how do you navigate building genuine connections in this world today?
Who? How do I navigate it? I feel like how you build genuine connections with anyone is how you hold discussions. You get to know that, know the person. You look for everything inside that, what you're trying to build with that person, whether it's friendship, whether it's beyond friendship, whether it's just associates, whatever the connection you're trying to build. But you got to also remember to pay attention to what you don't want to. be a part of. So that's the thing I would say, look for those red flags to see if that person is really worth the value that you have inside of you.
So basically, you go about building genuine connections by vetting a person, basically, like giving it time, talking to them,
Yeah,
understanding
getting
where
to
they
know them.
at.
Yeah, hanging out, building that foundation of friendship.
Enrique, how do you navigate building genuine connections in today's time?
Communication, like just talking to you, right? Like I pay attention to how you react to questions, how you react to things, situations, actions. I try to study you like I'm studying an exam. So even though that I'm enjoying you in the moment, I'm also looking at the long game of it all, right? So as
Mm,
I am communicating with you and I'm talking, like going out on dates, I look to see how you react to people that are not me. You know,
mm,
are you an unconsciously rude person? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Li- Like I look for the tiny things, and it's not so much for the red flags. I like to know who I am totally dealing with, like mom, even as a friend or even on the associate level of things.
right. I like that. And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
me
For
too.
me, it's always been a thing of I'm a person who pays attention to detail. And I will come in and I had the hardest time navigating this because I always wanted to be accepted in my life. I always wanted to be the person that was kind of like, oh, she's talking, listen. I wasn't that person. I was not that person. And so it took a while for me to come around to the ideology of just let people be them. And that's how I navigate genuine connections. I don't put no judgments on you. I don't care if you worship Satan. I don't care what you worship, actually. So, like, to me, it's just a thing of allowing you to be you and be in a safe place for you to be you. Now, if it's things that I don't agree with, if it's correction that needs to be made, then it's always for me, if we are building a genuine connection, then for you to also allow me to be me in the same respects. And that's why I feel like that goes back to what I was just talking about earlier about how I pour, I like to be poured back into. Um, Elizabeth stated there are unspoken roles that happen over time by allowing or creating boundaries or allowances. People learn by pushing boundaries or seeing what is allowed with certain expectations. Yes, they do. I agree with that. Thank you so much for that comment, Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Can I ask you guys, when was the last time you chose to entertain a relationship, whether it been platonic or romantic, and it was based off of what they could offer you rather than a genuine connection?
But you said based off of what somebody could offer me. I don't know. It kind of feels like that's using somebody. You know.
Right. And when is the last time that you've chose any relationship to be in based off of what somebody could offer you?
Oh. I'm trying to see because I ain't never just went into a relationship just to see what, or chose to see what I could gain from that one person, unless it was like something for his knowledge wise, like trying to pick somebody's brain, But as far as just entertaining somebody just to see what I can gain from them, I don't think I've ever dealt with that before. I've never entered something like that before. No, I've never played a
Oh,
part in it.
all right. Thank you so much, Enrique. When
Man, I got you.
all right.
I got you. When I was like in my early 20s, like I want to say like 2022, there would be girls that I would entertain just because of how they look, just because I wanted the arm candy. Like how would it look to my boys? How would it look to my family bringing home this, right? Once I got out of that mindset of just stop caring about the look and cared more about like the personality and what goes through their mind, that's when I got better. But the younger me, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. I didn't care about personality, man. I just wanted looks, you know. So I won't even
Okay,
lie to you. Like, yeah, a young dummy, yes.
I feel that. I feel that. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with y'all. The last time I entered any relationship, and I mean just any relationship, based off of what they could do for me was my job. I don't care. Like, but you need to pay me. I need to know what benefits you got. Is you gonna give me these days off because of ba 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 ba? Every time I go in and I look at a job, it's based solely off of what they can offer me, what they could do for me, and I know they looking at me the same way. So I know that relationship is always very very transactional. If we're thinking of like. mm, just romantic, platonic, romantic reasons, sexual reasons. That has been friends with benefits. I'm only there so strictly for sex. You feel me? Like, so I can think literally did that did that based off of what somebody can offer me. So sure, even educational purposes. I definitely agree with China. I'm a person that loves to learn, so just learning from people. And I think that this is a thing. A lot of people where we say we don't want to be used. I'm lying if I tell you that I do not want to be used. I want to be used. I do not want to be used in a way that is wasteful because you're draining me. And that's the only way I don't want to be used because I'm a useful person. I'm a useful being. You understand? What I'm saying? So it's not that you can't use me because you can,
But
but
use
I
me
don't
properly.
know what I'm saying. Don't use me in excess. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah. Elizabeth said your salary is your company subscription fee of you. Hey, you feel me? Like,
I know
listen, this
that's
definitely
real. I know
That
that's
is
real.
amazing to hear. Yeah, that is amazing.
they are definitely subscribed to me. So I'm gonna ask you this question. I want to know, how do cultural and racial differences influence our ability to connect with others?
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm letting China get her full thought here.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you
I
asked Enrique first. She asked you first. Your phone
Oh,
going
okay.
out. Your mic.
Yeah, like my yeah, okay. Well, I've dated interracially like most of my whole life. So, um it's a bit different. It depends on how involved their family is, how their views are, their social views are based on what they see, hear, what their friends may say. My experience has been more positive than good as far as like not caring about the cultural difference. I mean, it's a lot easier because I'm a Hispanic, so it's not that far off, you know. But I have been in situations where, yeah, like the racial tensions were pretty high.
Mm.
Just depends on who you're with. You know.
In China, how do you feel cultural and racial differences influence our ability to connect with others?
I've never dated outside my race. You know what? I'm lying. I'm lying. Let me run that back. So I've just started. Well, I mean, if you say I've dated a Jamaican, I don't know. I'm black, so he's Jamaican. So I don't know if that even, but we have different cultural differences as far as the food that we like and stuff like that. But I've never dated like outside of the black community as far as a white person or whatever the case may be. So I have seen I've seen racism when it comes to interracial dating, where if you have a black male figure with a white woman, I've seen the slander on that. I've seen slander on vice versa, Well, which is more, in all honesty, it's more accepting for some odd reason that the black woman gets the more praise when she's dating outside her race.
Or the
Um,
white man?
or a white man with a sister. Yeah, so it's kind of weird how A black male is looked down upon for dating outside his race, but the black woman, when she goes outside her race, she's praised. Hey, if it applies one way, it should applies always. But
Eh, that's a quote I live by, love. Yes, Enrique?
But could that be because of the disparity of two parent households in the black community? Like, and I'm asking this, right? Like, I'm asking it in a way where, like, because that is thrown in our faces so much from like the media, the news, politics. Could that play a role in how we view ourselves when we see our people dating outside of their race? I'm just asking.
Um, I would say that I don't know because I'm not that type of woman. But if I had to guess, I feel like it's your choice to date whoever you like to date. Do whatever makes you happy. I'm not. I think a lot of women are more upset about a black man dating a white woman, not because of the disparity in two-parent households, but more so because of the fact that there's a poem that I've listened to and it hit me because it stated that we have been groomed to be safe places for black men and they are not safe places for us. And so I for more so feel like it is the slander that comes with it and also the men, women, and the black race. What they say that for every black male, there's like 10 females or something like that, or something of that
hmm
nature. So that's the thing that plays more so in it is the disparity of most of the black males that they would say are incarcerated. So it is a struggle to find a good black man. And if we think about all of the black men who are dating white women, let's say if they're in sports or who wants a man who has a high salary or something like that, and he has to be black, you're already shortchanging yourself. Like, so I think it's more numbers opposed to the raising of it in the being in the two parent households. I think it's more of the selection of black men that we have that might make black women so upset about that. So I don't know. Well, does that make sense?
No, but it makes a lot of sense, right? But I don't think any of us are wrong. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody is gonna look at it from a different perspective, right? Just because the outcome is the same, the formula on how to get to that problem, you know, is gonna be different.
Yeah, I agree with that. So for me, for how do cultural and racial differences influence our ability to connect with others? I would say for me, it always took it was a lot of ignorance on my behalf. I didn't think that I could find people outside of my race that would be cultured enough to understand the background I was coming from. So I feel like that caused me to stop to not have connections with people that existed outside of my race. All I knew was black. I just knew black. So like I was culturally stunted. I didn't know I was uncouth. I didn't have a lot of knowledge on other races. I didn't have a lot of knowledge on other cultures. So I had to culture myself in other cultures. I had to educate myself on how other people move. And that is how I began to make connections with them. To also understand that forget race, forget gender, forget all of those things, that they are people too. So to just remember to connect with the human in them and not to see and not to always go off of, oh my God, she's white. I don't know if she's gonna know what I'm talking about, but yeah. So I think that's for me. I feel like that's the biggest disconnect when it comes to race, because we be unlearned. We don't know. Elizabeth said, depends on how persons are brought up, and it could lead to miscommunication or cultural misunderstanding. Families could be influenced or intrusiveness. There are friends' opinions that could influence one or both parents or a couple. Exactly. Yeah. And that goes back to what Enrique was saying earlier, about how we let other people make our decisions for us. And I feel like that goes into the quote that you must stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So get some foundation under you quickly. Hurry, fast. It's definitely necessary. All right. So after asking about culture and races, I want to ask, how do different generations perceive relationships, and what impact does it have on the integration on the intergenerational connections? Based on like, how do younger people perceive relationships, and why is there a disconnect with us and the younger generation?
I feel like the younger
Okay.
generation, it just depends on how they what they see, and how they see, like a younger male see how his father is treating that woman, or the community around him, how they are growing up. Basically, is how I feel like they would treat a woman, or how that woman would treat a man or girl would treat grow up to treat her husband.
So you feel like they go off example, basically?
Yep. Sometimes you don't have that example, and you just go off of what you see. Self-taught, whether it's right or wrong.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, um, I think we get a lot of what we see from online now with the new generation. Like it's before even in ours, right? Because we came up in a time where like all of this was still like new. So we had what we had at home, and like that's about it, or in the community. But now you get to see like every other culture, every race, um, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So you no longer have to rely on like mom and dad or aunt and uncle, grandma, grandpa, and a lot of them now make a lot of mistakes with dating because when things aren't happening at the pace or the speed in which they want, they disconnect fast.
Yeah. Mhm. This is true. I definitely agree with that. And I agree with everything that you all said. I do feel like that this generation is basically instant gratification, right? So if the relationship is not going to their liking, they are quick to leave, quick to pew. Oh, you feel me? But I'm gonna tell you something, because I have been like that.
Isn't that even in our generation as well, though?
I've been like that my entire
Yep.
life. But then I think of it, and when I'm talking to people that are younger than me, it is a thing of telling them to pursue their dreams, to stick with it. But it's the same thing that was instilled in me when I was younger. Even when we think about sports, even when we think about the things, I think the thing that is hardest to connect with is the situations that they go through. And I feel like that's where the disconnect comes in with us. It is the situational circumstances that happen with the younger generation that makes us a little more hesitant to involve ourselves or engage with the younger generation, or either for the younger generation to engage with us, simply because our views are vastly different. And I feel like that's where we lose that trust with the younger generation. That's where we lose that. The same thing, I feel like we have to keep the child in us in perspective, because the same things that you wanted as a child, guess what? I'm sure that's what that generation wants as a child just as much. So to hold yourself accountable for the things that you deemed in yourself as a child, to keep yourself in perspective at all times, no matter what age you were or no matter how old you are, but to still hold into account that you were once that age and you can relate. But I feel like these days, being older, it's harder to jump back into my 16-year-old shoes when I'm talking to somebody that is younger, because I also still want to instill that knowledge in you, but to just be open. Mr. Accountability, how you doing? I know you dropped out the last time, but you came back, and then somebody else went out, and I was like, oh, did he drop back out? But no.
I was good. Uh,
So, so for
I couldn't hear your phone cut out for a second.
you want to introduce yourself?
I mean, Mr. Accountability. I've been gone for a little minute, but I'm trying to get back in it. I missed y'all. Came to say some real. That's all.
I bet. Well, welcome to the immersive experience. As always, we are always excited to have your perspective, everybody's perspective, even the people in the comments. You guys help me keep going daily. I love to listen to other people's thoughts. That is a guilty of mine. If you did not know that, I always wanted to be the fly on the wall, or at least wallpaper. All out. When I say the fallout, this is talking about why genuine connections seem so rare today. So, since you just hopped on, I want to ask you a question. How has social media and digital communication contributed to the superficiality of modern day relationships?
um, Everybody wants to be that. What's that? What's it called? Goals, right? Social media has the people stuck in. Oh, that's goals. That's goals. This is goals. It's like y'all don't even know what most of these people go through in real life as a couple. Y'all just seeing what they post from their little pages or whatnot when they doing pranks or doing jokes or stuff like that. Like y'all not really seeing what's going on, what they got to go through, what they had to get through to get to those points. A lot of people think, oh, they probably always just been that way, and oh, things have always been great. Like I want to do it like that. I want a woman like that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta build that. Like even with a lot of this music, there are artists that make music about being single, about breakups. They're making that shit for money. These same artists go home to their husbands, like, and
Sukiana.
and be having happy homes and shit. But they make the music that y'all, want that y'all want to hear because it sells.
I, be-
You said what?
Your phone breaking up.
I said I believe that they distracting y'all, and I said Cardi B and Offset don't have a happy home right
Uh, and it's like, I don't know. A lot of people so stuck on what they see from social media so much that they do too much comparison in their own life with
Mm-hmm.
instead of actually sitting down and really getting to know the person across from you, because you're gonna go through changes. You're gonna go through seasons with a person. Like that's gonna happen all the time. What you willing to do or how you want to get through it, that matters. But a lot of people not willing to do that. They just see, oh, I feel like, oh, this couple is happy. Why can't I have that? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Why can't it be like this? We not them. Social media it got people looking at people looking at reality from a different perspective. That's not their own reality.
I can't hear you.
There's I can't hear you.
at all.
I can hear you now.
Nah,
You like
It goes.
you in and
whatever
out.
you
You
just
in and
said
out.
looked like a little Chinese dub. Like mm-mm.
Not a Chinese dub.
Hey, hear me right now?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Not.
We can lip read really well.
Better.
I can lip read.
Nope.
No.
Give it to me, then I don't know how.
Jarrell, how you been?
I've been good. Same old, same old. Kids, work, football.
Long time no hear, long time
Can
no
you hear me?
hear.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have.
not no more.
No.
Like every like eighth word we can hear.
I know you just said what the F.
I'm gonna blame it on the hurricane.
Yeah, blame it on a hurricane down here.
Fucking hurricane. It's my
Uh,
signal. It's fucking trash.
it's a
We hear
hurricane.
you now.
So based off ask you guys, it did it take a stab at that question? Do y'all remember it?
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, your phone keeps cutting in and out.
At that question that I asked Mr. Accountability?
I'm gonna need you to ask that question again.
I bet. Um, how do societal norms and media influences? That is not the question.
Yeah, that was the question you asked me about social media and society.
How does it influence our expectations in romantic relationships? Is that what I asked?
Mm,
Yeah, that's what you asked. We can't hear not nothing. It's pissing me off too, girl.
Can't hear nothing.
Can you guys hear me now?
yeah,
Yes.
Hear me now. Looking
Just
at
stay right there. Wherever you at is great.
great right here.
Don't
yeah.
move.
Don't move.
Yeah,
How do
Don't-
yeah.
you think societal norms in media influence our expectations in romantic relationships?
Who you asking? Can't hear you.
I ain't move.
All right, I'll go. Okay. All right. Social media, like Mr. Accountable said, it's it's everybody seeing the green grass. They're never seeing the work for that grass to be green. So what happens is that you speed everything up. You look for the bag. You look for the person that already has everything set. Whatever it is that you're trying to find, you're gonna see some type of fake norm that you can only find online that isn't realistic. So because you see all of that, what is supposed to be normalcy on social media, you look for that in real time, never gonna find it, but you will keep on disconnecting every time because you're looking for that fast paced one that isn't real. So we just get affected by the sped up process and not really the work that goes into it. Like everybody wants a sidewalk, but they don't know how to put the pavement down.
Mm, I like that.
Come through with the metaphors. I'ma steal that, Enrique or D.
All right.
Yeah, but that question. Can you hear me?
We you going in and out.
Or-
Are you telling me to take a stab at the question?
I asked you if you wanted to.
Oh, I mean, sure, why not? My view basically is the same as J Rail, surprisingly. And because we always argue. And Enrique, I do believe that social media has have social media does have a big effect on the way that people move in a relationship. They see the gold before they see the green light before they get to the go through the red and the yellow. So I definitely agree with both of these two gentlemen that's on the panel right now.
Well, thank you so much. Now, the next, can y'all hear me okay? Because obviously I got to say that first.
Yeah, man, it sounds fine.
I mean, you say that and then it goes out.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep talking. I got to keep talking so you can make sure that you actually hearing me, right? All my question is modern dating a minefield of unmet expectations and disillusionment?
Yes.
I agree. It is definitely based off of what all y'all just said about social media. We bringing social media into real fucking life, and I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm gonna keep talking anyways.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Like, I believe that ever since social media has came into play, depending on the mind frame of that individual, it could hurt your relationship more or it could help your relationship more depending on how you navigate social media.
Yeah, when you try to live life for the gram, the outcome is never a good one. But yeah, like it affects us, and like all of these dating apps have made it easy to like find the perfect one. But a lot of people write stuff on there that they don't even mean, right? It just sounds good to attract something else, right? So yeah, man, like it has really taken out the process of getting to know somebody because you think you know them based on a sheet of paper on one page. So yeah,
I mean, ain't that how jobs do it? You turn in your resume and you tell your whole life on it, right?
and how long do you stay at one job?
Exactly.
You know, but that's a good one. Though, yo. I didn't even think about it like that. All right, man.
Definitely can't hear you.
Okay, hear me now?
Nope.
No.
Well, we heard that last word.
Now. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm not gonna keep with this thing. So y- so y'all talk, post a question. Y'all can talk about it.
No.
I mean, I know what you said. You said you're gonna post a question and we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's what oh.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I need to turn my mic off. So I mean my camera off. So then maybe that way, am I coming through clearly right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what I was saying is basically that I do believe that this is a minefield of disillusionment because listen, even women, you walk into a relationship or you just meet, you're already expecting him be to pay your bills, take care of you. Like this is expectations and disillusionment. You understand what I'm saying? I understand that when you meet somebody, you trying to vet them to see if they the person for you, but let them show.
I think you went out again.
We heard you say let them show you. That's the last thing we heard.
Uh, hello? Oh
Hello.
nope. Back. It's
Yeah, it's like in and out still.
Yeah, I could see that now because now when I talk, I could see that my mic is either bumping or it's not.
Yeah.
It's coming clearly right now for
Hit or miss.
It's a little hit and miss.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
you, Mr. What do you like?
We still don't. Can you post the question? Because we really don't know
You
what you're
said
saying.
you said what do you like? But I don't know. I like ice cream. I like
Miss- No,
cheesecake, peach cobbler. I like
Ooh, peach
lasagna.
cobbler be buzzing.
Whole time.
Miss-
It gotta be
It
made
do.
right though.
She must have came out. So she went out. She'll be back. She'll be back like the Terminator.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me perfect now?
We
Well,
can hear you, yes.
Right. Great. I was asking Mr. Accountability. My question to you was, what do you like about women?
what do I like about women?
Absolutely.
Like, what do you mean? What do I like about women?
Like about women. Tell me what you like about women.
I like that they're not men. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is you're asking.
I'm asking you to tell me what you like about women. That's it. It's an open-ended question. You answer it how you see fit.
Okay. Some of the main things I'll say. There. So now, majority of women smell good, right? So I'm gonna say their smells. I love how women um care about their hygiene. I love their compassion for children, and their care. I love how they always want the best, right? Now, it may not always come off in the greatest ways, but they do always want the best. And if you find one that wants the best for you, that makes it even better. But one thing I can say, women do want the best. Now, that can be from you got some women who want to do they got everything in order. She want the she if he ain't got no money, she don't want it, right? I don't know too many women that don't want the best. There are a lot of men that will put up with almost anything. I love that women have high standards, right? That's a big thing for me, and how their emotional connection to life. I love that about women too.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. China, what do you like about men?
um, hmm. Well, what I like about men is kind of throwing me off here.
Okay.
um, Specifically, the strength of a man is very, very, very like I love the strength of a man. Like when a man provides for his family in the way that he should, when he's a protector, um, when he's just the overall, the caregiver. Um, I like how a man, he just shows up when he's supposed to. He's just there. So
All right.
he's
Y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
yeah. You
Okay.
throwing me off with these questions because I'm like, you
Well,
gotta pick a category or something. What are we talking about? The look?
category. I'm not talking about looks. I'm just asking you to simply tell me what you like about a man. What makes you so attracted to men? What so attracted to a woman or whatever the case may be for you, what makes you attracted to that person? Why do you like men? Why do you know that you like men? And that's what I'm simply asking. It's just an open-ended question. There's no right or
Oh,
wrong answer because it's you. Enrique, it is the same question that I asked Jarrell. What do you like about women?
The nurturing care, like like that one. Um, the like the emotional connection to just things that that I wouldn't be connected to.
Mhm.
The softness, the femininity of them, the way that they look, the way that they be smelling, dressing, um, just the complexity of their mind, because you ain't never gonna understand them, but it's worth trying to understand them. And
Oh,
yeah, like just that, pretty much.
I feel that. I feel that. So let me tell y'all what I like about a man. I'll tell y'all what I like about people in general, but I'll start with men. So just basically for a man, what I like about a man is their ability to to just be. This is what I like about anybody because I can't just make it just one sided because this for every person in the world. Like I like women too. So if it's just like, if it's just a thing of dealing with people or being with a person, I like their ability to just be themselves, to just allow themselves to accept all of them. And I haven't ran into too many people like that. And I feel like that's where that disconnect comes in of why I don't like many people these days. I don't think they have the ability to be genuine anymore. So, and it's hard for me to find that. So that's where my disconnect comes in. And I feel like that's why, but just in general, for me, people, women, I like them because of who they are. Whether it's their mindset, whether it's what they can do, if they have an amazing ability, some type of talent, I like people for their ability to be exactly them. And I find it hard to like people these days, to like men these days, to like women these days, even in the dating arena, simply because they do not know how to be themselves. You want to come in with some preconceived notion of who you have to be to appease to me, but in reality, the only person that you have to be is who you are. And that is why I like people, because they have the ability to be themselves, but they don't utilize it. So then I hate people. Total conundrum these days. But yeah, so I'm going to ask you guys. I would like to thank you all for tuning into the immersive experience tonight. And I would like to ask if you guys would like to leave any last words for the audience tonight. And I'll start to the person to the oh wait, to the right of me. Is that you, Mr. Accountability? Or if we were on screen, would you be to yeah, you would be to the right of me if we were on screen, right?
Yes, I would. I'll just say, just like you said, like you just touched on, just be yourself. It's a lot easier. Um, not always, not always easy trying to be somebody else based on what you see from social media. Like,
Mm.
be the best you. Honestly, just do what you can do in every moment. Utilize every point in life, every situation in life, as a stepping stone, as a growth period, as just a way to learn more about you and or your significant other. Use that. Don't block anything out, whether good or bad. Everything is taught to you for a reason.
Mhm. Forgive me for a reason. That's done. Thank you. All right. So the next person it would be is the person right under me, which is Enrique. Enrique, any last words? Nice.
Yeah. Well, just go through the process of life. Like, stop trying to avoid what you might deem as a mistake now because it might be a blessing later. Just remember to keep opening up every doors and just don't let what you see online cloud your logical way of thinking and make you an illogical person.
Mhm.
That's it.
My phone failed. Uh,
I guess I'm next. So I would say, and I'll, to everybody to just like what Enrique said, go through the process of healing first. Go through heal you first before you try to jump into anything else. Find those things that you need to work on about yourself so you won't carry that over into something else, whether it's another friendship, whether it's another relationship, building any other type of connection. Because I feel like people need to stop trauma bonding, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons of a failed whatever it is, friendships, relationships, whatever. Stop trauma bonding. Go after the perfect vision of whatever you want to be on your own. And yeah, I like what Jarrell said, just stop being fake. Like I think somebody else said that stop being fake, stop going off of what you seeing on this internet crap. Just do you. Build your own traditions, build your own value a way of life, and stop trying to be what you see on social media. It's never going to go that way for you. You got to do what you need to do for yourself.
All facts.
I love you, girl. So trauma bonding is so real. It's crazy. And she also says so true. Lots of fake people out here in the world, and it definitely is. I mean, that's
Yep.
like I, I guys with nights. You are amazing. You are brilliant. If you do not go and paint the world red with brilliance, you will forever be left out, letting other people decide who you are for you. Don't do that. You're bigger than that. I encourage you to up what is not
Desi, you might have should have just posted what you was gonna say.
cool.
You should have posted what you was gonna say because we can't. It's going in and out.
It went out again. I'm so tired of this motherfucking phone. Listen, let me tell you something. Do y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you scream at it like a child, yeah.
Y'all just hope the best. Thank you into the experience. Have an amazing night, and I will see you all on Sunday. Thank
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Bye. Bye,
All right.
guys.
All right,
All right.
everybody. Good night.
you.
Good night.